update on the 9th of January 2011. Okay, we've got to replace this floor edge here so we can get the inner sill and the outer sill attached to it. It should have a nice right angle on it, but it's rusted away. So there's part of it intact up this end, but I'm just going to take out the whole lot because I've got a complete floor edge piece here which can go in. It's a little bit tricky on this side than the near side was. I'm going to have to take off. I'm going to cut this. This is the cross brace and also the seat support. We're going to be cutting that here. I've already started to lift these spot welds. That's coming out so that I can get to the floor edge. Same with that back spar there. That's going to come out just on the transmission tunnel. We'll lift that out so that we can lay this in for the butt weld. That'll give us a straight floor. To position this, we're going to use, we've already made sure that we can fit the new sill by prepping the A and B posts and removing any old sill from the back wheel tub. We'll be positioning the floor edge and the sill at the same time so that I can gauge the exact positioning of this. You don't want to get that position wrong. Once that's welded in, it's got to meet the edge of this sill. So if we mock that up, I can show you what I mean. This will be meeting up with that. So we're going to be connecting them up and marking it out and double checking, then double checking before we put any seam weld in. Will be held in with tacks at first till I'm satisfied that the floor edge is correct, and then once the floor edge is correct we can seam weld it, spot weld, and then tack it, then seam weld up, and that will give us the edge for the floor. We'll then make that seat repair mount by fixing that. There's then a patch to fix under that spar there, reasonable size. Doesn't look like there's any other damage at this end. Obviously the footwell is a separate job from this. We're going to break this down into three or four phases of operation. So that's where we're at the moment on the 9th of Jan. So we'll get on with that work now. I'll start drilling these spot welds out on this spar. It's going to come off in a minute. Okay, you ready to watch this go? I can't hear myself with these mufflers on. Okay, I've taken off the spot welds. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 there. They were even at the factory. A little bit of wiggle, bit of the old Macca jiggery pokery on this bad boy of pop. It just needs a little helping hand. I've got 9 out of 10 spot welds. One, I've just missed the edge. You'll see that in a sec. Watch this go now. There's your satisfying clunk click every trip. And we offer that up for you to see. There's a view of what kind of we're up against. Nothing major there. no rust on that really, it's a solid piece of metal. We'll be using that later. As you can see now, let's pan the camera down. I've now got a nice tripod to help with this restoration. Look, there's your, could this be the first coin find? I think I've spotted a coin, I might be wrong, let's have a look. It's the first coin, the first find. You normally always find coins in old cars, and we've got our first coin here. A bit like archaeology, isn't it, this? Time T. Now can we see what it is? Should I hold it up to the lens? Do you want to see it before I do? I still can't read it. So, what have we got? Anybody? It's not going to focus, is it, the camera? I'll have to put it on macro to focus it. But just for a bit of fun, and a bit of a diversion, feels a bit light. I'm wondering if it's a token actually. Just a bit of a diversion, a little bit of fun. I've got a magnifying glass here. Just let me go off camera while I get it. I have a cat as well outside wants to come in, so it's a bit of a leisurely operation today. I'm just going to pause the camera whilst I... Okay, I've got a magnifying glass. It says this is our first coin find. The whole job might be the only one. I don't know how it's fallen down one of the inside. How it's got there, I don't know. Let's have a look. George. Okay, we've got George 1V, so George the... No, there was a George the 4th, or is that not? No, hang on, George the 5th. Or is it Georgiv? I can see the head now. It is a coin, it's not a token. Looks like 3, is it 3 shillings? It's a shilling, I think. I'm going to have to clean it up. I'm really intrigued. So anyway, that's our time team job. If that'll work for you. No, it's just not going to have it, is it? I'll try the macro setting on the camera, might work. Let's see. Anyway, that's a diversion. Let's get on with this job. Okay, so the coin was found there. Phillips screw. Anything else in there? No, that's it. So we'll now remove this rib section at the back. If I take the camera up for you there. See that rib section there? We're taking that out the same way. I might cut a bit further back because that's where the floor repair needs to be done as well, so we'll get that out in a larger piece. So we're going to drill the spot welds out on that now. That's the next job. Okay, I've got both those cross members off. I've cut that one. I think that's had it. It's had it, that cross member. It's rotted on its rotted all the way along the bottom. I have to get another one off another car. I don't like the look of this. I could batter it straight, but I don't know. It's worth it. Oh, it's clean there. Gone up to the half edge. I don't know what to do with it. I panel beat it back into shape and put a new edge on it, or just cut one off another car. I'll see what I can find. I could have done without that, but underneath floor's worse than I thought, because it was obviously the strut cross member was hiding some rot there, and I have to inspect the other side. I might have to go underneath the car and make sure that that spar there isn't hiding anything, and that one. It shouldn't be, but I'm going to go under and check just in case, because it's not good if they are. It looked alright with a torch because I looked through the holes. We'll have to do some double checks. There's more floor pan work here than I thought. It's actually the rear quarter piece. It looks like the join. Could be a join in those two, or is it one continuous piece of metal? I'm not quite sure actually. It looks like one continuous piece. Anyway, we're up for more inspection now. I'm going to just get a quick vac and clean that up and just see where we're at with it. Right, look, you can see underneath there, the seatbelt mounting point wasn't in the best condition we could have, so we're going to refabricate a seatbelt mounting point. Also, we've got to remake this piece to fit into it's a raised shape, but that's a flat shape, so we'll copy the flat shape first, you see, as best that I can, bearing in mind that we've got this coming up to it. So I've got to dock this with that, basically make an extension piece on here which marries that, something around there like that. So we make an extension piece first, then make verticals down there to join it up, and then remove this floor and put in a square floor edge so that you've got a flat floor pan. It's a bit of a sort of 3 or 4 stage operation. Got to cut that out, make that shape like that. It's a tricky one actually. Let's see how we can get on with that. We'll give that a try. I'm just going to take the floor edge out so I can position this new floor piece in, because at the moment there's metal in the way. I can't get a straight alignment, so I'm just going to do a rough cut first, which will then be final cut after that. I'm also going to make the piece of metal cut down in shape, because I'm going to do this in 2 stages. So it's a 2-stage operation. Chopping this up first. I know I shouldn't really chop this up, but we're not doing this back end. Hang on, let's get the camera working. We're not doing this back end. You like the ski goggles? We're not doing that yet. We're only going up to there. And then to the front. So because I haven't got that piece, I'm waiting for a floor section for that. So we're only going to do this bit. So let's get that cut out and see what we can do. It's either that, or I can get a new floor pan from a guy on the website. So I'm going to look into that possibility as well, which means no need to fabricate this. We can take the floor out on the chassis rail edge there and join it. We've got 2 choices, we've got to decide which one to go for. Alright, so I've set up the sill, clamped it in position where obviously where the old sill was, so that's our datum point. Got the old sill in position, and now what we're looking to do is position the new floor edge so it mates up with the inside line of the sill, basically to get the edge in there. Now I'm using a few reference points. I've got a wing, I've got that front A post, I've got the B post to use as reference points. You've got a circle in the middle of the sill, which is exactly in line with the middle of this pillar, so we can use that. And we know by lining this up with the tub at the back, so we know then that the sill is equicenter, whatever the word is, in the middle. That means all you've got to do then is line, you've got a reference there because that's the raise point for the seat belt mount there, so we can use that. That means we know where this is fitting, which means I can draw a line on the pan, what's left of the pan, the usable part of the pan, because some of the pan's getting replaced, where there's some holes there, here. Although the front end's not too bad, so there's not much patching being done that. And then we'll butt weld the floor edge in position, so then you've got something solid to work back from and start infilling it all with. It's a bit like a jigsaw piece, so got to be infilled back in together. So what I'm going to do now is mark the line, take it all off, cut the floor, then butt weld the floor edge to it, and then put it all back and see how it is. I'll tack the floor edge first, then put it all back together and see how it's looking. If it's looking all right, then we can carry on. All right, I've marked that now with a pen. Got a yellow ink marker, what they call them, paint marker, rather than felt. It's an actual paint. Okay, so that edge is marked up there for the floor edge. We'll keep that in, but I'm now going to detach the sill, which we had temporarily connected. Take it off at the back. Okay, so we're off at the back. Where else are we clamped? Clamped on the B post. Off on the B post. I've got that one quite tight, so that's going to be... Whoa, that was a tight one. I'm off on the B post. Okay, so we've got one clip just on that edge there, lower lip, and then one just on the front. As it goes with a bang, that leaves you the floor edge. As you can now see how it works, there's your floor edge. So what we do is we weld the floor, take the floor edge off, then we cut where the yellow mark is, then for the fun part, the butt weld. Okay, so let's see how we get on with that. Okay, I've re-clamped everything again, double checking. Look how I've just made sure the back of the sill follows that profile on the wheel tub, and we're going to be landing where the brass was. There's a filler seam in there. Okay, so I'm checking that the sills are lining up again. This is the double check. There's not much left on this middle B post to align it with. There is that side, so I've pulled that up into that. That's going to give us the relative height. So we know that the sills, we're assuming that the sill's straight. It's landing on this A pillar and being pulled up into the A pillar with this clamp. It's also clamping it across, so you get the twisting action as it goes flush into the cup effect of that A post there. So that actually twisted the floor in a little bit more. I'd just missed that, so that's taken that line that I previously drew just a couple of mil out. I'm going to redraw the line, then we're going to recut. We're very close, but that's why you have to keep doing this. Then it'll stay connected as we do the weld, and I'll just be following the floor pan tacks along to get that shape. There's some rot there, but I want to attach the floor edge first, then I'm going to start infilling these pieces. I might get that from another floor pan and cut out and put that in as a separate job, as I will do this repair. But by getting the floor edge on, it starts to create some strength back in the floor, and also the job doesn't start disappearing off. You start cutting that out and you start ending up with no floors. This will give it sort of stiffening action again, make it easy to work on, and also we're not losing reference points if anything moves. We need to keep everything relative, otherwise start taking too much off you begin to lose your much needed reference points with no body jigs, no measurement, so we've just got to go on what we've got. This piece, it's going to get reattached, of course. You know, we took it off so that we could fix the floor edge, because that was in the way. Look how that's in the way of the floor edge. It needed to be removed. I'm going to put the inner sill on and check that everything fits as well. So we're going to draw a line again now with the yellow felt pen, and give it another try. Okay, I'm drawing a line. I'm actually using some engineer's chalk. It's better than pen. Use engineer's chalk in white, gives you a much better line. So look at that. We're going down. He's going down there. Keep it along the edge. Let's go with it. Do you want to come with it? Okay, let's go with it. I know you guys watching the video want the camera to pan with the action. It seems that's the way. Let's pan. Let's follow. Let's not lose our temper on it like we did on previous videos where we're bashing the hell out of something, much to the amusement of some of the followers on the site there. Okay, so that's now in line, ready for the cut. We're going to make another angle grinder cut. Just double check that everything's as it should be. Okay, we'll go back in a sec.